Alright, welcome to Sunny Beach. We're not going to be here very long. Unlike every level I've played so far, I'm not going to be doing this level in its fullest. I'm not going to be going for 100%. That's because I cannot get 100% right now. Well, I could, but I've kind of made it a rule that I'm not going to use the double jump glitch in this playthrough. You're going to see that in one of the final parts. So yeah, I cannot complete this level as currently, so I'm not even going to try. All you're going to see is me quickly going through it, getting these turtles to safety for the talisman, because I do still need the talisman to advance. That's why I can't complete this level. I need to be able to climb that ladder. The same was true of Glimmer, but that was also the first level in the game. I don't feel like with the first level in the game I should just speedrun it, per se. This isn't a speedrun, obviously. But, if I was just to rapidly go through Glimmer, that wouldn't leave a very good first part impression. I am going to do it with levels that I cannot complete at the current moment. That includes this level. There are, I think, a couple of ones in,
There's a chef at the top of this ladder.
There are, I think, a couple in Autumn Plains that I can't do either without the proper power-up. And one of them I'm sure as hell not doing without the proper power-up. Yeah, I cannot complete this level right now. So we'll revisit Sunny Beach later on. And then we'll do all of the 100% and stuff. The reason I'm not trying to get as much as I can in this level right now is partly the fact I can't do it, but it's also partly because if I miss anything, well, when I come back, I would have a very good idea where it is.
Please take this talisman as a
At least with this, I know that the main sort of path, the quick and easy path I took, I've got almost everything on. I haven't really searched the level, so it's not like there's any obvious things that I've missed. So yeah. There are crits too. Yeah, the cutscenes after you beat a level usually make the characters in the level look like complete assholes. Idle Springs isn't one of them. Idle Springs, they still look quite nice, and it actually made the idols a little bit friendly. I like that. Colossus was them being dicks to each other, so I don't feel like anything was ruined there. But then the big problem in Colossus was the Yeti, and he went kersplat. So yeah, we cannot complete Sunny Beach, but we did get a talisman, which means there's only one level with talismans left to do. What is that level, camera? Actually, for a PlayStation 1 game, I think Spyro's camera is actually pretty competent. Alright, so it's obviously behind this gate, right?
Hi, Spyro. This talisman door will only open if you have all 6 Summer Forest talismans. Once the door is open, Ripto and Crush will be waiting in the dungeon.
Why no Gulp? What, is Gulpoff getting a makeover or something in preparation for a shitty game?
Spyro, you see this wall here? I bet you're dying to know what's on the other side. If only I
Oh.
be able to remember how to lower the wall. Yes, the sparkling beauty of those gems seems to have jogged my memory.
Stupidest reasons for all the treasure things.
Okay. So it's not the portal to Dragon Shores. Aquaria Tower is still a lovely place. Why, I have a home there myself.
For once, he's right. Aquaria Towers, is a good example of how you do a water level. if I was to think about all of the water levels I've played in video games, I actually am prepared to say Aquaria Towers would be the first place one. I love Aquaria Towers. Let's go into it and let's see why, shall we? This level's going to end with them being jerks to the shock stick guys, aren't they?
Guys with the shock sticks have drained all
Look at the background.
water. We can't get it back unless someone.
Right. I like that about the shock stick guy anyways. They'll attack anything that's within their area, within their vision of sight to a degree. Even if it's not Spyro. The crabs that I just charged through, if that sheep wasn't there, then they would actually attack the crabs. They are going to attack each other. Alright, so first reason why I like this water level compared to other ones. It isn't instantly water. You do still have to do some land-based stuff. When the water arrives, well, Spyro's a good swimmer, so it doesn't actually impede your ability to go through the level. It's not like Spyro slows down. In fact, I'd be prepared to say Spyro gets quicker. The only major loss is his flame breath. For now. Yeah. But it also makes you navigate the level on land for the moment. And as much as I like the underwater controls, the land movement is more easy to control. So give me the land movement. It gives a nice reason to. It gives a nice little introduction to the way the water works as well. I think Aquaria Towers. Oh, those assholes. But we need that treasure. So we need to take on robotic sharks later. How will we do that? Maybe that power up in the first room will help? Yeah, I love Aquaria Towers for having you go through it on land first. That's my first reason for really liking it. The second's the music. But then that applies to almost every single level in Spyro, so it doesn't make Aquaria Tower stand out in Spyro. And even in water levels in general tend to have really good music in my opinion. So yeah, it doesn't even stand out in that regard, it's just really good music. But yeah, I like that you go through the level on land first before you actually get into underwater action. So yeah, and like I say, Spyro's not a bad swimmer, so having to swim through the level doesn't slow you down, which is a major reason people hate most water levels. Okay? I like how it does stuff like that as well, the crab walks on the ceiling. That's not how water works. Oh, you.
Hi, Spyro. You must be tougher than you look to get here. All the same, you won't be able to get past the.
But you got here, so he doesn't need to be that tough.
Let you borrow my submarine, though, for a modest fee, of course.
It is actually possible to go through here without the sub. You can actually survive, but it's just simpler, in my opinion. I'm just going to use it. I'm going to get all this money back later on anyway. It's not like I'm short on cash. I have to question, how are the sharks fooled by this sub? It looks nothing like them. Okay. Right, next area. There, you see? They also attack the crabs. You didn't hit me! Oh, how did I lose a hit point there? Well, I think this is our first time being on green, so 1 hit point left is green. Or 2 hit points. 2 hit points left is green, but I always think of it as 1. Alright, so more water. So we're going to walk up. Oh! Now we're permanently underwater. Yeah, now we flooded the whole level, which will make the inhabitants of the level really happy. So we're back at the start, so obviously we've seen the whole level now, haven't we? Doesn't seem like a whole lot to do. Huh. Ooh, now this is a beaut. Shall we go and test run it? Against, say, some sharks? Yeah, Super Flame underwater. Mario can fire fireballs underwater. Why couldn't Spyro be able to? Yeah, the Super Flame underwater is awesome in my opinion. It actually makes Spyro feel like a little miniature submarine himself. With torpedoes and everything. He's even got a little... I'm trying to think what to call it. He's even got a little recon unit thing in Sparks. That was overkill! Why did I do that? Ouch! I Super Flamed a sheep! Okay. But yeah. The level so far, really nice and stuff. Let's go take out the rest of those sharks, yeah? Hopefully this is an orb challenge. It's not looking like there's a lot more in the level, is there? Alright. And then just these two. I think the sub... I don't know, the sub seems to, the sub goes through its closing animation. Because I heard its little thing close. So I wonder, is it possible to get there quickly enough that you can see the sub's hatch closing? There's a lot of things I wonder. I should actually try them out. Right, so, yeah. This is pretty much the whole level, isn't it? I mean, what else is there? Well, this is going to be the talisman.
We all want you to have this talisman of Aquaria Towers to remember us by.
Like I said again, I do like this water level because Spyro controls just fine underwater. But it seems a bit short, doesn't it? It's not a lot to do in here, isn't there? What about out there? Yeah, every single little drop of water unlocked a new area. You didn't think the final one was any different, did you? We've got a whole outdoors to play with now. Along with dodgy Sparks. Come on, Sparks, pick that up. I passed it. Right. So, there's a whole lot more out here. Which, there won't be any enemies here, obviously, because they were all land-based. Unless they were crabs. But there don't appear to be any crabs. Yeah, I think the impression is that out here... was out here water the whole time. So actually, Aquaria Towers never lost its water. The towers are up here. Unless they're talking about the numbered towers. But yeah, here we go. Just a bit of a treasure hunt now, but I think I'm just going to go for orbs in a moment. Because there's... I'm trying to remember at this point, I think, whether there's treasure inside the towers. Because you do go inside the towers at some point. I think at this point I'm looking around, but I'm trying to remember whether there's treasure in the towers as well. So yeah. But we're not going to the towers yet, obviously. So, ooh, 25! I don't know, I just love that purple gem. The purple gem looks the best. Yeah, all the gems in general actually look really neat. Right, so I'm trying to remember whether there's any treasure in the towers at this point, because I don't know, it feels like there should be to me. But I eventually just decide to move on. So, Hunter!
I've been trying to tame my new pet manta ray, but he just won't obey me. Hey, you're just about the right size to ride on his back.
The sequel, Spyro 3, has something odd. There's a moment when Hunter won't jump down somewhere because he hears running water. And here he is, underwater, in scuba gear that doesn't actually cover his skin. He became a woos. So let's keep going. This is just a simple go through the rings thing. You don't actually have control over whether the manta ray is going forwards, I think. It just does it automatically.
I suppose I owe you something for that. Here, take this.
Yes, I drove a manta ray. It totally needs something to do with that. Now that the manta ray is
Love to get him
tamed,
into racing shape. Care to take him through a harder course?
harder courses all go. So, the harder course is actually not too much harder in my opinion. There's a few turns that are made a bit more annoying, but not really that much harder in my opinion. You won't get to a really hard go through the rings mission for a while. In fact, I don't remember if there's one in this game. But yeah, it's not that tricky. At least not in my opinion. I hear a lot of people complain about that one. It's not that tricky.
Talent. I could use a partner like you. You can have the orb I found in my other flipper too.
Why are the orbs in your flippers? They're gonna smell really awful. Alright.
Sorry, pal. I don't have any new jobs for you at the moment.
Ooh. So you've got more stuff to give us. Why don't give it to us now then? We're trying to kill Ripto. Anyway, another detail I like about when you're underwater is Sparks goes into a bubble. I don't remember if I commented on that in Idle Springs.
I borrowed some explosives to blast the doors off the towers. If you can make it to the top of the 6 numbered towers, my children will be safe.
So he bought explosives to blast the doors off the towers, but didn't actually ascend the towers himself. Okay. Now, the idea in these towers is that they'll have either crabs or electrical fences or electrical field fence things, or both at the same time. My usual method of doing this is just to charge right through. There's not really a reason not to. I mean, it's not hard to get more health. You just kill a sheep. So yeah, I just charge on through because if you charge, if you're in your hit phase, like if Spyro was flashing, then you can go through them and they won't impede your progress. So yeah, this one's just crabs, so just go right up. Unlike the fences, the crabs do stick around. But on the other hand, they're crabs. They're not really that big a threat, and the super flame's right there if you were really having trouble. But yeah, you see, there were, I think, 4 electrical things there. And Spyro just charged right through them because he was hit by the first one. It's not that tricky to do these things in my mind. I can do them without doing that sort of thing, but this is just quicker. And I generally don't really like this challenge too much. So yeah. There was the missing treasure. Okay, so the towers did hold the answer after all. But yeah, this is the quickest way to do them, and it's also not enough fun for me to do properly, so yeah. Let's just go ahead and do the final tower, and then that should be Aquaria Towers all finished, shouldn't it? I do really like this water level. It's my favourite water level. This bit. There's no sharks though, so let's just barrel on through. Moneybags doesn't charge you to use the sub again. 1 payment and you can use the sub for the rest of the level. But you shouldn't need to. So yeah. Okay, there we go.
You did it. Now we can swim in peace. I heard that you were collecting these orbs. Please take this one.
How does anyone hear anything about... Well, actually, no, that's not true. At this point, the 6th final level in Summer Forest, Spyro probably would have a bit of a reputation now. So, yeah. But yeah, I like this completely underwater level. Spyro's not a bad swimmer, so I really like this water level. It's one of my favourite ones in any game. I love its aesthetics and everything. If you return to the level, obviously it restarts. Yeah, like I was saying, if you do return to the level, if you return to any level actually, then the level does start anew. Like in Colossus, you have to get them to sign to lower the door things again.
Well done, Spyro.
And there, you'll have to hit all the switches to flood the place again. So yeah.
Spyro, jump through that hole in the floor to get down to Crush's dungeon. I'll help you by tossing sheep through the hole if I can catch them. Good luck.
I will say, it is nice to see that Spyro can take on Crush on his own merit. In a moment, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean in the next part. But, yeah. It is nice to see that Spyro doesn't need any outside assistance to take on Crush, just like how he handled the bosses in the first Spyro game. So it's interesting even more then that Crush is my least favourite boss.
Spyro, the orb you're carrying him activated this special portal. You won't find a talisman in the Ocean Speedway, but if you're fast, you'll get lots of treasure.
Oh, Speedway levels. I love the Speedway levels in these games. I love them in Spyro 1 as well. People who hated them, I hate you. Alright, I will see you in Ocean Speedway in the next part. See ya. What, no intro cutscene?